Thank you so much, Madam President, and thank you for presiding over this very, important discussion around our budget resolution. I also want to thank Deputy Leader Mike Gianaris, as well as our chair of our conference, Senator Serrano, for helping us get through this debate. Of course, to our Minority Leader, Robert Ort, and Senator Gianaris' counterpart, Senator Lanza. I am sorry I missed your birthday yesterday, but a belated happy birthday. I'm sure you'll be celebrating. We're going to get you out of here soon. And of course, to the finance ranker, Tom O'Mara, and all of our colleagues across the aisle for your constructive engagement. And of course, a special acknowledgement to my finance chair. You did a great job of doing part of my speech. I don't even, yeah, that's good. Who, tirelessly, she always threatens to, I'm glad you said you were honored. I will make sure to tell you every time you say, oh, why me? That, but I really, really thank you for your tireless commitment to getting it done and getting it right. And, your expertise and experience really helps us in so many ways, so I thank you. And of course, I want to further extend my gratitude to Governor Hochul and to Speaker Hastie for their year-round partnership. And as I always say, I am grateful to be engaged in a rowing exercise where we are all usually rowing in the same direction, and the same is here in this budget. Also, I want to offer deep gratitude to the staff on both sides of the aisle, but I do want to give a special thank you to Jonathan Lang, Secretary of the Majority Council and Program, to Dorothy Powell. Give her a little applause. Keep everybody awake. To Dorothy Powell, Counsel, to David Friedfeld, Finance Secretary, to Mike Murphy, Communications Director, Leah Goldman, Director of Intergovernmental Affairs, and all the staff members whose hard work and dedication have made today's One House budget possible. So again, thank you to you all. And of course, I want to thank my own Senate Majority colleagues for your unwavering dedication, your hard work, your advocacy, not only for your districts, but for the entire state, and a real shared vision for the prosperity of the state and everyone in it. Today, we come together at a unique, chaotic, and arduous moment in the world outside these chambers. As your Senate Majority Leader, we're honored to present our One House budget resolution, a bold, compassionate, and fiscally responsible plan that directly addresses the most pressing concern for New Yorkers, affordability. We hear a lot about affordability across the aisle, yet my same colleagues stood silent when the Trump administration and Republican congressional majorities proposed massive tax breaks to the ultra-wealthy, while hard-working, lower and middle-class New Yorkers are paying more for less support, beginning with cuts to Medicare, housing, now Social Security, even food. In stark contrast, this Senate majority has delivered and expedited the lowest middle-class tax rates New York has seen in over 70 years. And now we're even ending the luxury yacht tax break our colleagues across the aisle handed out during your last majority. As I've always said, budgets are priorities. Our budget modifies the governor's rebate proposal, ensuring long-term financial support for seniors, as well as an expansion of the Working Families Tax Credit and the Earned Income Tax Credit, delivering sustained relief to low and middle income families. The Earned Income Tax Credit is expanded to younger workers by lowering the eligibility age from 25 to 19 and increasing refunds for single working people to help cover essential costs like rent and groceries. Housing remains a cornerstone in our budget. We commit $250 million to the Housing Access Voucher Program to prevent homelessness and ensure rental assistance. We invest $75 million in public housing authorities outside of New York City, $50 million to rehabilitate vacant rental units. And as part of the City of Yes proposal that my colleague just mentioned, we provide $1 billion for housing, including $500 million for public housing. And we also provide funding to help homeowners remain in their homes across the state. Every New Yorker deserves a safe and stable home. We continue our historic commitment to education by fully funding foundation aid, expanding universal pre-K with $150 million, and investing $500 million in child care workforce stabilization to increase child care availability. Additionally, $25 million is allocated to expand non-traditional hour child care. We build on the governor's proposal for universal free school meals by expanding farm-to-school programs, ensuring children receive nutritious, locally sourced food, and providing a boost to our New York's families' farms. Our budget also significantly expands support for higher education, with an additional $74.3 million for SUNY, $114 million for CUNY. We create a 5-year, $1 billion annual capital plan to modernize campuses and hospitals, increase support for student mental health, and expand financial aid. With looming abhorrent Medicaid cuts slated by Republicans in Washington, we safeguard healthcare access with $1.5 billion in new investments, including $355 million for hospitals, $250 million for nursing homes, and $100 million for New York City health and hospitals. We strengthen reproductive health care with $35 million for the Reproductive Freedom and Equity Grant Program, and expand Medicaid protections for vulnerable communities. Additionally, we invest $100 million in children's behavioral health clinics and allocate $22 million for crisis response teams under Daniel's Law. Public safety remains a priority, with $46 million for violence prevention and other public safety programs, $20 million for family court access, and expanded support for jail-based medication-assisted treatment to combat opioid addiction. Our small businesses, the backbone of our economy, receive targeted support, including new unemployment insurance tax credit for small businesses with 50 or fewer employees, helping offset some of their costs. We also increase MWBE funding and support for Main Street revitalization. Our commitment to affordability and economic security extends to hardworking people who keep our state running. That's why this budget takes significant steps to support workers across industries. We expand temporary disability insurance to ensure that more New Yorkers have the financial support they need during health challenges. Construction workers will see stronger prevailing wage protections, guaranteeing fair pay on publicly funded projects. This budget reflects our fundamental belief that when we invest in workers, we strengthen New York's economy, families, and communities. We take bold steps to address the climate crisis by expanding clean water funding to $700 million, increasing funding for energy affordability programs by $200 million, and creating a $2,000 rebate for used zero-emission vehicles. Despite misinformation from fossil fuel interests, states like Texas have demonstrated that renewable energy can provide the cheapest electricity in the nation. Our budget meets this urgency with an additional $100 million investment in the Environmental Protection Fund, funding for clean water projects, incentives for zero-emission vehicles, and accelerated renewable energy infrastructure. Additionally, we established the Office of Climate Resiliency to coordinate state responses to climate threats and invest in floating solar incentives. Finally, as the daughter of a combat veteran who bravely served despite discrimination, I was really outraged by a recent a Republican congressman whose dismissive remarks about veterans' employment rights not being God-given. Our budget honors veterans with an increase in veteran services funding, a new property tax exemption for 100% service-disabled veterans, and expanded Gold Star annuity benefits. This includes additional fundings for the Federal Defense Program and $300,000 for New York helmets to hard hats to support veterans transitioning to trade careers. Our budget provides nearly $4 million more for veteran housing, job training, legal assistance, and mental health care. Our veterans fought for us. We must fight for them. As we progress, I welcome the challenging yet necessary conversations and negotiations with the executive and the Assembly. Though the road ahead may be difficult, through collaboration and our shared commitment, we can create greater opportunities and build a stronger New York, even in these perilous times for our nation. Today is about more than the budget. It's about our collective promise to every New Yorker. It's about reaffirming our shared values of fairness, equity, and resilience, and our commitment to a brighter, stronger future for our state. We have repeatedly proven that when we invest in our people, we strengthen our communities, our economy, and our state. So I look forward to the work ahead and delivering on our shared promise to build a New York that truly works for everyone. Thank you, Madam President. I vote yes.